Welcome back, my friends. Today, we're just going to do a small project together. We are here with the dreaded boob light. Let's take a look. I know most of you probably have one of these somewhere in your house. They're a really cheap alternative. Contractors put them in new construction. It's cheap, inexpensive way to get some lighting in a room when you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on a good fixture. But I hate them. I'm sure you probably hate them too. So today, we're going to make this look like this.
Hi, and welcome to Dad Fixed It. My name is Eric, and this is my family. We're a family of 6 living in the Northeast. As you can imagine, life is pretty expensive. To help us out, I try to fix everything I can around our house to help save money. I'm not a plumber, a carpenter, a mason, or an electrician, but I try my best with what I have. Hopefully I can help you fix something and save you a lot of money. Come along on this journey, and let's learn together. Let's fix it.
Just want to say one thing. You definitely need to check with your local codes to see if you're allowed to even change an outlet or a light fixture in your home. Some municipalities don't allow it, some do. I'm not responsible for any mistakes you make. If you hurt yourself or anything like that, I'm just showing you how I'm doing it. This is not meant to be a certified electrician's tutorial or guide. I am not a certified electrician. I'm just your average homeowner. But take it for what it's worth. This is just how I'm doing it. So my wife was able to find 2 of these fixtures for like $50 each on Facebook Marketplace. I absolutely love Facebook Marketplace. It's like the new and better Craigslist. So unfortunately, one of them got a little bit damaged. The person over tightened the screw, pulled the glass in. So we'll have to have a little new piece of glass made. But you already saw I installed the other one in my kitchen. We're going to put this one in our mud room or kids' homework room. But to do this project, I put together one of my typical tool bags. So let's take a look and see what we got inside. So we got some wire nuts, some painter's tape, I'll show you why in a minute, a pair of lineman's pliers, wire stripper, some green grounding screws, safety glasses, of course, flathead screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, and one of these awesome little tricks, pre-made 14 gauge pigtails. I had another thing in my bag also, electrical tape. I'm a big fan of this Super 33 Plus. I was in Home Depot last week, and this stuff is like $8 and change a roll now. I almost fell over. This is ridiculous. So I totally get it if you don't want to splurge for this stuff. I haven't actually purchased any of this in years. It's just stuff I've had. The first thing we need to do is isolate the circuit. Safest way to do this would be to turn off the breaker. This isn't a 3-way switch. I'm not worried about someone else coming in and turning it on while I'm working on it. We are going to turn off the switch, and we are going to put some painter's tape over that switch. And another thing to keep in mind, anytime you're changing a light fixture, is to move anything important out from under it when you're working on it. Here we have an attic above. I don't know what could fall out of there. Get a nice clean area under you so that you can just sweep up when you're done. All right, let's go up and take a look and see what we got here. This one is an LED fixture, I believe, so there's no bulbs or anything for me to take out. Oh yeah, this one's not too bad. Non-contact voltage tester. I just want to ensure that this circuit is indeed dead. All right, I got no beeps, so we are dead. And sorry about the reflections in here, the shadows. All right, so what we can do first is take off our wire nuts and put the wire nut back on the house wiring. Disconnect the hot. In reality, I just did that wrong. You should always disconnect the hot leg first and cap that. My bad. Loosen the ground screw. The box should be grounded, and then the bracket should be grounded as well, and the fixture. So we're going to change that. Next, we will just take off the existing bracket because it's no longer useful to us. And save the screws because you might need them again. Next thing we're going to do is take off the bracket on the new fixture, which is done by removing the 2 little nuts that are on the bottom. and we'll get that ready. You can see it's already grounded there. Just going to take that off temporarily. Of course, it's twisted around 100 times. One thing to take a look at is these posts have to drop down below the sheetrock, and this is what the new light fixture will mount to. So these are even right now because I just tightened one of them down. It was sticking up a little, but you want to make sure that they're even. If your electrical box is flat, sometimes you actually have to offset them if your box and your ceiling is not proper. And what did I forget again? I can't believe this. I'm telling you, ever since I had COVID, I'm like shot. I don't know about you guys, but safety glasses. How did I forget to put them on? I don't know. Now they're on, they're not coming off. All right, this box should be grounded. So right now, this box is electrically isolated from these wires. So if something were to happen, this box would get energized. It could stay energized. These little green grounding screws go up here, and actually the boxes have pre-threaded holes. Hope you guys can see that. I know the lighting's not the best here. I tried adding some extra light so we can see what's going on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of my pigtails, cut it in half. I'm going to twist it on existing ground. Cut it so they're even. Put a wire nut on there. Now I have one that can go to the bracket, and this one can stay up here and ground the box. And you always want to loop around your screw in the direction that you're tightening so that it will only pull it tighter. Loosen that guy up, or tighten that guy up rather, sorry. Now we have these. So what we can do, remember I was saying you need to save your screws. The wires have to come through these holes. And you want to make sure that you're running them in a fashion where they're not going to get pinched. That's really important. So what I like to do is I usually stick one through here. Sometimes you can get them through with the wire nut on. Sometimes you just got to take the wire nut off. Stick our neutral through. Ground can come through the same side as the neutral. And we will mount the bracket to the existing box. Holes are slotted and long so that you can rotate this in whatever direction you need. You do want to tighten this down as good as you can and make sure that it is pretty much flush with the sheetrock. All right, my friends, we are almost done. So now is the tricky part. Maybe some of you know, but I've never been able to figure out a way to hold this thing while you do the wiring properly. So what I usually do is, well, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap our ground around the ground screw so that the bracket is always grounded. You know, actually leave a little extra. I'll typically wrap the fixture's ground around the same spot. And then forget my screwdriver down below. Great. Wrap it, tighten it down. And then I prayerfully let it hang from that while I finish everything else. So now what we're going to do is we'll come over here with do our neutral first. And you're going to want to wrap it, as it's stranded, you're going to want to wrap it nice and tight around the solid wire. And then make sure your wire nut goes on nice and tight so that really makes a good connection. And then usually I like to Wrap a little piece of tape over it too. And it just keeps it tight and anything from going in there. Now we'll do our hot leg. Again, this is off. And wrap it around real tight. Is we're going to push the wire nut up back through, because you don't want this stuff, even though they say there's enough room inside of here to hold the wire nuts and everything else. I can't tell you how many times I've helped a friend out where I found that this was in here and this wire was pinched. It was almost cut through the jacket, creating a hazardous situation. So you can usually get these wire nuts back up through. Today I probably won't be able to. Anyway, I think what we're going to do is we're going to tuck all the wires up, the excess behind the bracket, and we'll just leave the wire nuts over the edge. Shove our ground wire up there. And what I want to do is, since this was broken, I want to try to align this. Now it's really broken. Wow, we're doing good today. Well, that really sucked. Now I have to buy 2 pieces. Be as careful as you possibly can when you're putting this stuff back. You do not want to pinch wires. Let's see if I can find. There's one. All right, and that looks about centered. All right, we will just put in our nice little LED bulbs. I am so bummed that that thing fell out and broke. I should have checked to make sure that each glass piece was secure. That is totally my fault. Now let's test it. All right, here we go. Let's see what it looks like.
Wow.
What do you think?
Way better than what we had.
Yep.
It looks good.
All right, my friends, that's a wrap. You can see how easy it is to change those generic fixtures out for something nicer. Unfortunately, mine took a little turn for the worse today. That's totally my fault, but it is what it is. I'll just have to order some new glass. I hope you learned something today, and if not, I hope you were mildly entertained. I'll see you next time.